everybody. So today I am going to show you how to tie a half-Windsor knot. Now the half-Windsor knot is a very versatile knot and you can wear it in pretty much any circumstance and with a lot of different collar spreads, so it's a very good knot to know. Okay, so to start off with, you'll notice that I have the narrow end of the tie on my right hand side and the wide end of the tie on my left side. This is kind of arbitrary, you can do it either way, but if you're just starting out, I would recommend that you have the sides on the same sides that I do. Secondly, in terms of the lengths that you want to have each end of the tie, it's kind of random, it just depends on your body type. So right now, I don't really know how this is going to turn out, but you can always adjust after the fact and just see what works for you. Okay, so to start actually forming the knot, I am first going to pass the wide end of the tie over the narrow end of the tie, like this. And once this is done, I am going to pinch the connection point of both ends of the tie with my left hand, just to make sure that everything stays in place. Okay, now that I have it pinched, I am going to pass the wide end of the tie behind the narrow end of the tie. And to do that, I am essentially just going to pinch the two ends of the tie together like this with my right hand. Then I'm going to grab the wide end of the tie with my left hand, and when I do that, I'm going to put the wide end of the tie up and through the loop around my neck, right here. And that is going to look like this. Oh, and during that move, make sure that you have the forming knot pinched with your right hand. But after you put it through, you can let go. So then you can just grab the wide end of the tie with your right hand and just give a little bit of downward diagonal pressure just to tighten everything up. Okay, now that I'm here, I am going to pass the wide end of the tie over to my left side, like this. And now that it's passed, I'm going to pinch the forming knot just so that, again, everything is staying nice and even and the knot's going to turn out looking good. Okay, so make sure that you have the knot still pinched with your right hand. And now I am going to take the wide end of the tie and I'm going to pass it under and through the loop around my neck, like this. Okay, so now that we're here, you can let go of the forming knot, obviously. Now that we're here, I'm going to go profile and show you how I finish my knots. I have done this in a few other videos so far, but I'll just do it again here anyway. Okay, so what I do is I take my left hand and I put it in the middle of the wide end of the tie. And once I do that, I raise the wide end of the tie so that the part that is closest to my neck is essentially parallel with the ground. Then with my right hand, I grab the bottom of the wide end of the tie and I fold it up to the base of my neck, just like that. And this essentially makes sure that the wide end of the tie stays out of your way when you're trying to push it down through the loop that I'll show you in 1 second. Okay, so now that I'm here, I am going to make a little bit of space in that loop that I alluded to earlier, which is at the front of the forming knot. So right here, I am going to then take the bottom of the wide end of the tie that I have grasped in my right hand and push it down through that loop. And then I'll just fish it out with my left hand. And as I do that, I'm going to grab the loop with my right hand and just give a little bit of upward pressure just to make sure that everything stays in place. Okay, now to finish, what I do is I grab the narrow end of the tie with my left hand, give a little bit of downward pressure, and then I grab the wide end of the tie with my right hand and gently pull downwards just until it's snug. You really don't want to over tighten your ties, because if you do, they'll get damaged and look absolutely horrendous. Trust me, I've done it before. All right. Oh yeah, I always forget that part. Okay, so now that we're here, I'm just going to continue giving downward pressure on the narrow end of the tie with my left hand. And then I'm just going to gently grab the base of the knot and push upwards. And you just kind of have to play with your neck a little bit, try to get it in the right position. This is kind of intuitive, and I think you'll get the feel for it after a few times. So just like that. Okay. And then just put your collar down. And there you have a pretty decent Half-Windsor knot. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it.